children, and welcome to Maths on Tuesday. So let's start by using our 100 square to do some counting. So yesterday we practiced counting in twos. So today let's choose another pattern that we're learning and let's count in tens. Let's start with number 10 and let's count all the way to 100 in tens. Off we go. Okay, remember to join in with me. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Well done. Okay, can you remember, children, what we were learning yesterday? Yesterday we were adding the same number together lots and lots of times. And another way we can describe that is we can say we were doing some repeated addition. So let's have a little practice of one of those sums that we did yesterday just to start us off. So I know I'm going to start with this one, I think. This one is a twos sum. So let Mrs. Fussey just write on the board nice and big so you can see that. So let me just count how many twos it is that I'm going to need to write. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I'm using my addition sign. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And that is a long sum, isn't it? Let's just make sure we can read it properly from the beginning. Okay, so let's add our sum up as we go along. So 2, add 2, add 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. So yesterday we practiced writing the sum or reading the sum and showing the apparatus to match. So we put down some objects to help us count in groups of 2s, 5s and 10s. So let's pop these out onto our board, and then we had to think, didn't we, children, which pattern are we counting in? And we had to count all of the different groups of 2. So let's count in twos. Let's go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I know that 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 12. Let's put 12 as our answer. Now today we're going to do exactly the same thing, but we're not going to use the apparatus. So I'm going to pack that away. Today what we're going to do is we're going to use some jottings, so some pictures, to help us to find out the answer to sums like this. So let me wipe this one off the board. In fact, I'll wipe that one off the board. We'll do it a little bit blue. And let's write another one on the board. So I'm going to put on 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. Okay, now I've got a little picture of something to show you here. Now I bet you'll recognise that these are chocolate chip cookies, and I bet you enjoy eating chocolate chip cookies. I know we do in my house. So we're going to use pictures of cookies today to help us answer our questions. So that sounds like fun. So let's keep our cookies over there, and then I'm going to show you underneath my sum how I draw my cookie. So my cookies are round, so I want one underneath each of my number 2s. Okay, so each 2 has a cookie to match. But really, that picture at the moment doesn't show a picture of number 2. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw the correct number of chocolate chips in my cookies to match the number in my sum. So I'm going to draw 2 chocolate chips on this cookie. Let me just check, that's 2, another 2 here, another 2 here, and another 2 on my final group of 2. And so now I've drawn a picture of my sum, and I can add up in twos. Are you ready? Let's check which pattern we need to count in. Aha, the clue is in the sum. It's a pattern of twos. Here we go. I'm starting with 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. And my answer is 8, because 4 lots of 2 make 8. Okay, let's try another one. Let's write this one. 2 plus 2. Okay, a nice simple one. So again, I want a cookie to match each number. So there's my cookie. So don't be afraid when you're using paper children or an exercise book to leave yourself enough space to draw your picture underneath the number. Okay, so I want my chocolate chips to match on the top. At the moment this cookie hasn't got any chocolate chips. Let's draw 2 chocolate chips on that cookie and 2 chocolate chips on that cookie. And now I'm ready to add up my groups of 2. I've got 2 groups of 2. Let's go. 2, 4. And I've finished my counting because I've run out of chocolate chips to count, and the answer is 4. Okay, so I can do exactly this for whichever pattern I'm counting in. So just here, I've managed to cut out one of the sums that's on the bottom of the work plan, and this sum says 5, add 5, add 5. So I'm just going to quickly write it out nice and large so you can see it. Okay, so this time I'm still going to use my chocolate chip cookies to help me, but I've got to think about how different they're going to be to the ones I've just drawn, because this time my pattern is of 5s and I'm adding 5 over and over again. So my cookie, how many chocolate chips will I need in each of my cookies? Aha, you're correct. I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going a little bit more quickly. When you're drawing your chocolate chips, make sure you count carefully. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that matches. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it matches. Okay, let me check my pattern. I'm counting groups of 5. I've got 3 groups of 5. I'm counting in pattern of 5s. Here I go. 5, 10, 15. 15. Okay. Now, if I got halfway along and I wasn't sure what my next number was going to be, I could count so far 5, 10, and then if I wasn't sure about the next number in my pattern, I could check on my number square. Let's have a look. 5, 10, where do I travel next? I'm counting in 5s. Aha, to 15. 5, 10, 15. Or I could use my chocolate chips to help me. So I've got to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, fabulous. Right, so you'll also notice that there are some you can practice with our tens pattern. So let's have a look. I've got one just ready just over here. So this one, let me write it nice and big. So it's 10 plus 10 plus 10. Okay, and I need my equal sign. And then I'm going to draw my 3 cookies. So each number has a cookie underneath it, but the number of chocolate chips on the cookie is important. It's also important when I'm working with the 10s that my cookie's big enough, because if my cookie's really, really small, I'm going to really find it hard to fit 10 chocolate chips in that I can count. Okay, Mrs. Fussey's finding that tricky over there. That isn't a big enough cookie. I've got to make sure I've got a big enough cookie. Okay, so 10 chocolate chips, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I went really quickly then, children, but you must go more slowly and take your time to make sure that your cookies match your number. Now, I also like to organise my chocolate chips in rows because I think it's easier to count them then. As if my chocolate chips are all mixed up everywhere, it's really hard to count them. I think as well it's nice to, rather than just touch the cookie with your pencil, to draw a little bit, almost like a little bit of a full stop, just to make sure that you can see the number that you've drawn. So we don't want that one. Let's get back to what we were doing. So let's add up all of the 10s we've got here. So I've got a pattern of 10s, I've got 3 groups of 10, I'm going to count in 10s, here I go. 10, 20, 30. 30, now I think we looked at 30 yesterday on our number square. 10, 20, 30, there it is, 3 and 0. So 3 groups of 10 together make 30. Now, once more, if I was trying to work out the number of chocolate chips on my biscuits and I only could count so far along in the pattern and then I got a bit confused, I could actually count them with my finger and use my chocolate chips. So 10, 20, what comes next? I find this a little bit tricky. How I go? I've got 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so try to use the pattern, children, where you can. Okay, so on the work plan you'll see that there are some 2s, some sums with groups of 2 in, some with 10s and some with 5s. So do which ones you feel comfortable with, because we've got plenty of chance to practice through the week. So there's one more thing I want to show you just before I go. So if I've got a sum like this, I'm going to write it on the board quickly. This board's going to need a clean, isn't it, children, afterwards? If I write this sum on the board, let me see, 2 plus 2 plus 2. Now, I'm going to draw my cookies to match. And there are my chocolate chips, 2 chocolate chips on each one. I'm going to show you something clever now, because we're really familiar with this sign. We know this sign really well, the addition sign. But there's another sign that we can use, and that sign looks like this. So I'm going to draw it on the whiteboard. Okay, and that sign, I wonder if you might know what it is. That sign is the multiplication sign. Okay, and it can mean lots of as well. And we can use it, instead of our sums getting really, really, really long with lots and lots of adds in between each one, we can use this multiplication sign to write the sum in an easier way. So I'm going to use this multiplication sign just to show you, just before you go, how to write a sum using this sign. So let's have a look. We've got 1, 2, 3 groups of 2. So I've got 3 times 2, or 3 lots of 2. So both times I'm going to get the same answer. Let's have a little look. So I'm going to count in 2s. 2, 4, 6. And my multiplication sum matches the cookies as well, because there's 3 cookies with 2 chocolate chips on. So if I count again, 2, 4, 6. And I'm going to put my answer as 6. So let's practice that one more time. So this time let's change our pattern. Let's change our pattern to 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 lots of 5, 4 groups of 5. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 cookies, just enough cookies to match. I like to draw my cookies underneath the number, so I know that each number has a cookie. And then I need 5 chocolate chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let me count up in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. Let me check 20 on my number square. It's a number we're quite confident with now. 20, 2 and a 0. Let's write that as our answer. And then I'm just going to think for a moment about my multiplication sign. So how many groups of 5 have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 lots of 5, or 4 times 5. And we know, because we've just worked it out, that 4 times 5 makes 20. Okay, so today, children, your job is only to draw the pictures to match the sums that use the add signs. If you want a challenge, you can have a go at using the multiplication sign, but please don't worry if you're not ready, because we're going to have another little look at that tomorrow. So just concentrate today on drawing the pictures to match the sum and using the chocolate chips to help you find your answer. Okay, but I just showed you that really quickly today, and we're going to talk more about it tomorrow. But it's there as a challenge if you feel you are ready. Okay, so children, it's been lovely teaching you maths this morning, and I will see you tomorrow for more fun with repeated addition. Okay, bye children.